And so as the final hair strand hit the floor and she discarded the razor and comb, this is what my hair looked like. Hello, over the past 57 months of 2020, if you've been watching my channel, you've probably noticed that my hair was getting a little out of control. Part of it was down to the pandemic, sure. Another part of it was that I'm lazy. And it was going all right at first, you know, I was on track to looking kind of like Brad Pitt. And those aren't my words, those are the words of YouTube user Torrance Crown. And then back in October, I started receiving letters saying things like, "Oh, Lawrence, you look appropriate for this time of year." This time of year being Halloween. They thought I looked like a scarecrow or something. Or in the case of one letter that I received, Martin Van Buren. So I decided, with immense coercion from my wife, it was actually her idea, that I'd let her cut my hair. I mean, what could possibly go wrong with that, right? I mean, anybody that follows my wife's channel, Old Fashioned AF, will know that she's pretty handy with scissors when cutting fabric, right? So this was new territory for her because she'd never really cut anyone's hair before. I was willing to be that guinea pig, but she wasn't willing to do it unless we filmed the entire thing. Now, thankfully, she did have assistance from her aunt and cousin, who are both trained professionals at this. But have you ever had one of those nightmares where you go in for a surgical procedure and you look up and you notice that it's not a surgeon standing there, it's your best friend holding a scalpel and a bottle of tequila? That's been a recurring nightmare for the last 4 days. A slight snag is that we didn't have an actual hair razor, and Tara's aunt and cousin lived hundreds of miles away. What we did have was my beard trimmer, and since the numbers on the beard trimmer weren't the same thing as those that professionals would use on people's hair, we had to do a bit of trial and error.
Are you going to have sideburns?
I think I'll just have one continuous beard, rather than like thicker sideburns.
Just didn't want her to cut through the sides and show.
I know. She really should have asked.
You are moving and it's making me nervous.
Just went ahead and did it.
So what do you think? Do you think that it looks at least pretty standard?
I think pretty would have been fine. So, you know, so far so good. Still, I was a bit concerned that it might leave my back and sides a bit shorter than I'd intended. But then I thought about it and I thought, who's going to see me anyway? Except for tens of thousands of people on YouTube. But a shorter back and sides would mean that I could put off going to the hairdressers or barbers. What do you say in America? Until next year, which is great. Anyway, after the successful attempt on my beard, I was feeling 5% more confident than before. Which is to say I was now feeling 5% confident. So at this point, we made the treacherous journey north onto my head. That seemed really high. This all seems really high. Pretty certain higher than they normally do, but I could be wrong. This is all right though, because I don't know, sometimes I like to, in her words, experiment. Before we got underway, my wife asked me how I'd like it doing, and I naively responded as if our marriage depends on it. And to this moment, I can't be sure that that little quip didn't influence her approach.
We continue this. You still can't see anything yet. It looks the same from the front. Yeah. I think, well, what I was saying before is I don't think that they ever did blend it.
They did.
I think that it generally...
No, they did.
On. From what I always would see when you would come back from the hairdresser, is the blending would be minimal and there would be like a tuft of hair on top. What do you think of the side?
Yeah, it's misleading, but it looks pretty good.
Misleading.
From the side. The side looks fine. I already know though what the back looks like. Oh, whoa. I think the sideboards are a bit weird.
Ew.
It's getting all over me. That looks I look 48 years old. We could just buy a number of baseball caps. That'll solve everything. She's just going.
I've already started.
Thankfully, I don't have my glasses on.
If you keep moving though, I'll get your head again, so.
That's why I'm moving. That's catch-22.
Literally just that one little inch. Don't go any
Just
higher.
right here.
Yep, just where the line is.
And so as the final hair strand hit the floor and she discarded the razor and comb, this is what my hair looked like. It's not bad. I've seen worse, you know. It's a bit shorter than I would have liked, but over the last few days, it has started to grow on me. We'll fix the bit that didn't blend. You know, we just got to wait for it to grow a bit. And until then, I could just do videos about the US military in the 1950s. And it'll be perfect. But I do honestly think for somebody who's never cut hair before, she did a way better job than I would have done. And it just feels good, just doing that. I've been doing this for about 4 days straight. But on top of all of it, she did help me reach my target weight of 198 pounds. So I think then the marriage is still strong. Wish I could say the same for my hairline, but then I do have yet another birthday coming up. Anyway, if you're new to my channel, most of my videos aren't like this. Usually they're about my ongoing quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond. So please subscribe to my channel at the end of this video by smashing my stupid little face.